All right, everybody. You have Coach Dave. I'm in Northern California, and I have a lot of information to provide you. So hang on. We'll go for roughly 10 minutes, and we can sort of set the stage for the three pillars. We have mind, body, and gut. And why are the three important? And when you start understanding that, and I'm going to use some analogies, that you're nothing but a big river. All right, stay with me. So what that means is you have a lot of little tributaries that flow into your river. And it's not one thing, it's not one tributary that makes a difference. Collectively, the aggregate, you add them up and a little bit here and a little bit there. That's where you start to understand that one of those tributaries might be contaminated, it might be blocked, it might be dammed up in some way, and it's not able to contribute to the big river and allow the big river to flow in a nice, efficient, clean way. All right, so let's turn our attention to the three big tributaries of who you are, what makes you you. And you have the mind, you have the body, and the body is your skeleton, your muscles that hold up the skeleton, and then it's your gut, your gut, the gut, right? So that each one is a big influence in who you are and how you feel. So it's impossible to give you everything in just one small session, but this is the sort of beginnings of understanding that what you've been doing with your body for a long time has contributed. Let's just focus in on the gut. If you are drinking alcohol or you smoke or you don't bring in enough nutrient rich, nutrient dense foods, then that habit that you've had is going to contribute to the lack of efficiency of that one tributary feeding into the system. And the system requires good nutrition. The system, because you're getting good nutrition, you're going to get good sleep, let's just say. That's another tributary. And there's hundreds of little pieces that connect to this that make up the complete body, the complete system. So if you're not getting enough good sleep, then your mind is potentially in a state that is not at a state of rest, where you need a state of rest in order to contribute to the quality of the system in general. So let's keep talking about the gut. A lot of us over time have created a deficiency, and we get used to this deficiency. And part of the concept that I use is called neuroplasticity. You're always moving into an ever-changing state of what you feel is neutral and normal. So you used to, as a kid, you used to get up in the morning and you just would get up and all systems were go. You were ready to go. You felt good. You didn't have that external pressure, that weight on you of modern society and all of what that contributes to just put its load on you. And that's a huge part of an external influence into why you do what you do. So understanding that modern society adds layers of stress, and it's constant stress, which, a lot of times we're going back to the gut. You can feel it in your gut. You're just, something doesn't feel good. You're a bit unsteady down here. And there's a fantastic book called The Mind Gut Connection. You can see my website, coachdave.xyz, and you'll go to the equipment section, look for the books, and you can find the Mind Gut Connection. And it really goes through the science of how the gut and how the mind influence each other. So, but your mind is influenced by a lot of the external influences of society, and you can't discount that. So going back to the gut, a lot of us are doing things on ease and convenience based on we're not wanting to spend the time to prepare a good quality meal because it's taking away from the time spent doing something else. Well, unfortunately, you can only do that so long, and then at some point something's going to give, and it's typically going to be the lack of nutrients and quality of nutrients that you're bringing into your body. It's far easier to run over to get a chicken at Costco and it's all done for you. Next thing you know, you're taking shortcuts here and there, and there are no such thing as shortcuts when it comes to the quality of your health. So you've got to be doing the things that are appropriate, and you've got to allocate and have accurate expectations so that you can put in the appropriate amount of time. You can prepare the right foods. You can start on your way to clear up the tributary of allowing your body to get the quality ingredients because you're focused on it. You're actually rearranging your priorities and spending more time on doing the right thing, because you will see something will happen, something's going to break, whether it be just anxiety and depression and all those things that are coming from what you typically think is a mental imbalance of some kind. I don't like to use the word dysfunction. I'm not a fan of the word dysfunction. We tend to use the word as a brushstroke, and then we're accepting these dysfunctions, and you shouldn't accept any dysfunction. You shouldn't accept, I just reworded into an imbalance. So what can you do? You can start becoming educated. You can start incorporating individuals like me. I always believe that everybody needs a coach, a mentor, a trainer. The only purpose here is to encourage your sphere of influence to increase in its size. And eventually you will learn enough or a little bit from somebody, from something. You'll become more educated, and you'll see how that little spark, that little light bulb contributes to some positive effect. And that's what you're looking for. So right now, your influence is the people that are around you. See my website. I have an article up there that focuses on Coach John Wooden from UCLA, where he's listed tells his players the reason you are what you are is because of the people you surround yourself with. You make 3 columns on a piece of paper. You write down at the top of each column family, friends, social, and then business. And then typically you'll be putting up on those columns the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And then you go to sleep on that list. And then the next day when you wake up, you'll be looking at the list and you'll be analyzing whether any of those 5 people in each of those columns is going to get you where you need to go in life. And if they don't, you need to scratch them off, and you need to write in who you think will. Now, that's your sphere of influence. You are what you become, whoever you surround yourself with. So you're wanting to spend as much time with those people. That's a coach, that's a mentor, that's a trainer. Those are for all the right reasons, and the importance in reprioritizing your health is important, because at some point something of the mind, the body, the gut is going to go. And it'll go is because you're not putting in the right attention, and you don't have the right influence to help support you and your thinking, your decision making, so that you can make better decisions, you can see more successful outcomes, and from there it's gravy. The goal should be happy, healthy. That's it. That's what your goal should be. So let's keep the discussion going. Let's keep learning about the gut. There's a lot to learn, and we're always learning new things. What we used to do 20, 30, 40 years ago is not what we're doing today. And chances are 20, 30 years in the future, we're not going to be doing the same things we're doing today. So try to get the best quality information and keep learning. All right. So pardon me. What that is me using some digestive tea. See my website for the ginger lemon tea. And that's a digestive tea. And I'm listening to my body. My body's giving me right here. It's the small intestines. It's right in here. That small intestines is getting a little gurgle. It's a burp. And that burp is good because it's part of the digestive system that's working. And I am using a tea to help me encourage a healthy gut microbiome. A microbiome is an ecosystem of living organisms. So just as a really quick overview, that's the gut. All right, so there's lots of information on the gut. Keep thinking about bringing in good things. I always say good things in, good things out. So good things in, good things for the gut. All right, so let's quickly talk about the mind. And the mind is controlled by a lot of different things. You have a nervous system inside of your body, and that nervous system, the names are not important right now, but you have a nervous system, and it's complex. And you have physically, you have nerves in your body. We're not talking about the same things, but if a nerve gets pinched for some reason, you're going to excite your nervous system. So what happens eventually is, if in fact you're existing in a heightened state where your nervous system is always kicked in, you move away from the rest and recuperate and relax state into a more fight flight state. And if you're in that for a long period of time, it is detrimental. It can wear you down. It's like sandpaper over and over again. Trust me, I've been there. So when that happens, you're going to want to find tools. And throughout this whole conversation of mind, body, gut, you're going to want to find tools in order to, when things happen, you reach into that toolbox and then you pull out the appropriate tool based on your education, your experience, your influences, to help you get through situations where, in this case, the nervous system's excited, but you got to relax it. So there's lots of things that you can do. And then lastly, let's talk about the body. The body is composed of your internal organs, but specifically, let's talk about body mechanics. I focus in on the musculoskeletal information and education. And therein lies a huge bit of just really interesting thoughts and processes to encourage your body to be not only fluid in its movement, but strong. And doing that as you age, because remember, you're nothing but a big river. And if the gut is either inflamed or not working right, it will affect the quality of your movement, because it all works together. And the mind, if the mind is affected in a negative way, it's going to affect the gut, which is going to affect the rest of your body. All right, so you can find me on a few social media channels. TikTok seems to be one that I'm on frequently. I'll be doing more YouTube, so a lot of people have requested it. So stick with me as we go down this journey. Think of it as a journey, especially if you're struggling in any way. You've got to reframe your thoughts. You got to think about this. This is your situation. This is what you're in. And it's through education and having good influences that you're going to get out of this situation, and you'll be a better you. You're going to come out stronger than how you came in. All right. So I'm Coach Dave, and I will see you on the next one.